Welcome to this episode of the Video Creator Show. I am speaking with Foz. His channel is TheFozTech. He has over 150,000 subscribers. He is a tech YouTuber. He covers everything from tech tutorials to phone camera reviews, really anything to do with technology. It's fascinating. Today we're going to pick his brain, figure out how he built it, why he built it, what his day-to-day looks like, all that good stuff. Foz, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Grant. Thank you for having me.
So this YouTube channel, we were talking a little bit beforehand, and you do this full time. You also have a company outside of your YouTube channel, which I do want to talk about. But to begin, you are your own boss, it seems, and that's kind of a dream for a lot of people. What has that been like for you? Would you say it has lived up to all the hype, kind of being your own boss, running your own business and YouTube channel? Or has it been more of a struggle than maybe you thought it was?
Yeah, to me, to be honest, it's been a blast having a financial freedom to being able to work from anywhere around the world. Recently, I came back from my Europe trip. I spent almost 3 months in Europe. I visited Portugal, I visited Spain, as well as France. I spent almost 1 month in Portugal and over 1 month in Spain. And then I spent another 2 weeks in Germany. It was absolute blast being able to work from anywhere around the world and at the same time earn money. This is truly the reason why I built this YouTube channel, so that I have time freedom, location freedom, so that I can work depending on my own schedule. I can build my own routine, day-to-day routine, without being dependent on anyone outside of like a boss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. That is awesome. I mean, that really is the dream, being able to be anywhere, work from anywhere, and still make money. Is it... So when you're working while traveling, is there certain inconveniences that you didn't really think about initially, like bad hotel Wi-Fi or things like that, that get in the way? Or have you kind of mostly figured that out? Because at least I find when I'm traveling, but I do a lot of video editing, so that kind of complicates things. But working on a laptop from an unfamiliar location can present some difficulties. That doesn't affect you too much, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing that affects me when traveling is finding good light source. If I want to film, that's the struggle. But when it comes to uploading, then finding good Wi-Fi, usually it's not a problem. I usually stay in Airbnbs. They usually have a really good Wi-Fi. Otherwise, I go down to a local coffee shop, and usually you find some cool people there, especially places like Lisbon, where a lot of freelancers and digital nomads work there. Just networking with them is also a really cool experience. Yeah, like this is my solution, but definitely it has its cons and pros when you're traveling. But I love being at home too. Being able to have all the studio equipment, just press record and record on the go. That's also very convenient.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So take us through the early stages of your channel, like when you first started posting videos. Did it take a while to get traction? Was it pretty quick? Because, 150,000 subscribers, that's nothing to scoff at. What were those early days like for you?
Yeah, so I started my YouTube channel, I would say 2017. That's when I posted my first video. And back then I was in high school. I think I was 11th grade. Really, the reason why I started my YouTube channel is because I wanted to improve my English. I came as an immigrant kid to America at 14 years old. I didn't speak any English. And I thought the best way to practice my English was to record myself and then watch myself, after I record, so that I can improve my English. And that's how I kind of started my YouTube channel. I always had a passion for tech, and I just kind of combined two things, passion for tech as well as film. And then this is where this channel basically came to reality, basically. So after that, for getting my first 1,000 subscriber was actually pretty quick. But after I hit 1,000 subscribers, that's where I hit the kind of stagnant stage where I wasn't growing, because it's just like consistency is a big thing, obviously, on YouTube. And I wasn't consistent after that, because it's so easy to get discouraged after you work so much and you don't see any fruit and any result of your hard work. And that's really easy to get discouraged, and that's where I had that kind of plateau, and I didn't upload consistently. But after like 6 months of break, I really committed full time. And back then I was in university, and I started uploading at least 2 times a week, and I would upload at the same time, at the same day, twice a week, and that's where I see the biggest growth. And that's the time period where I hit my first 1 million views per month, and then
Mm,
soon after that I hit 50K, and then not even 2 months after that I hit 100K, and that's
mhm.
how I kind of grew.
So,
Um,
what shifted in your minds to go from kind of taking a 6 month break and being somewhat inconsistent even before that to posting twice a week? Like, how do you feel like you changed, and why do you think that shift happened?
Yeah, I think it's mostly because of my personal experience. I really found myself lost in at the university. I was studying computer science, and I truly didn't find any passion, any interest in that, and I didn't see myself doing this in the future. So that's why I needed an outlet where I can build an income source and then bounce off of university, so that I can focus on something that I truly love instead of studying something that I don't like. And that's where the commitment came from. It's all mental. That's where the motivation came, and I really just stick to it and committed myself to at least upload twice a week and see what happens. And obviously,
Mm,
you need to look back at your videos and then improve every time you upload, and get better every time. Yeah.
right. And like, obviously,
Mhm.
consistency is so huge. Like, what do you say to somebody who is currently struggling to stay consistent?
Um, Yeah, I mean, I nowadays even myself struggle as well. It's really hard unless you have a really bigger, deeper purpose on your end result. If you have a certain end result and goal that you set out for yourself, not just the numbers I'm talking about. I'm talking about whether it's an impact that you want to make, or whether it's lifestyle change that you want to be your own boss and have financial freedom. It's all about this, having and seeing the end result, and then motivating and staying motivated every day to hit that end result, basically.
hmm And so before we were talking, you said that you have a company, and it seems like this YouTube channel kind of did it open the door for you to start your own online company? Was that something you were kind of doing on the side already? Kind of what's the relationship between your channel and your company, and can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. I kind of started simultaneously with the YouTube channel because, as I said, I was looking for many ways to side hustles, to many ways to like build myself an income so that I can bounce off of the university computer science that I was studying, and have some type of financial stability. And that's when I kind of started this marketing agency as well, where I started reaching out to local businesses. And most local businesses, they don't know how to utilize social media to its maximum potential. And that's where me as a young teenager came in and provided my expertise, especially on Instagram, and providing them with my services. At the beginning, it was only just management, posting, taking pictures and videos of the local businesses, and then helping them to upload on their Instagram pages. And this is how it kind of started. And I basically kind of shifted my tech YouTube channel to more to social media marketing side of it, and I started talking about more Instagram, how to grow on Instagram, how to reach your maximum potential on Instagram. And this is kind of like combined both of the things that kind of combined, where I shared my own expertise of running a business on YouTube and just documenting my journey.
hmm Hey there. You probably know the Video Creator Show is brought to you by VidChops.com. What is VidChops.com? Well, it is an editing service that will take the horrible burden of editing off your back. We all know editing, video editing, it's tedious, it takes forever. But what if you had a professional who did it for you? You go to sleep, you wake up, it's done. Wouldn't that be magical? VidChops.com. Hire a professional, save yourself time and energy, and take your YouTube channel to the next level. So you started locally and then kind of branched out into online. Obviously, the pool is much bigger on the internet. It seems like a logical next step. So like, what does your day to day look like between running a channel and having this company? Like, do you delegate a lot of tasks now? or are you still kind of deeply involved with all parts of the process?
Yeah, I think I'm at a stage where I need to outsource certain tasks of it. Um, I work with two freelancers. That's the only kind of employees that you can say that I have. For the most part, every day I work maybe at max 4 hours,
Mm,
and I usually like to work at early morning where I can just get into a deep focus and get some deep work done. And after that, it's kind of like replying to emails and doing some minor tasks. Um, yeah, besides that, nowadays, like mostly the media agencies online where we help influencers to convert their previous work, like their YouTube content, to Facebook as well as Snapchat. And it's 100% remote, which is really cool.
mhm. Hmm. So you do most of your deep work in the early morning, and then you have kind of miscellaneous tasks after that. Did it take you a
Yeah.
while to figure out that schedule? Because I do find it's a lot easier to work in the morning. There's something about waking up early, kind of getting started immediately. You're fresh. Like, were you originally a night owl and you kind of shifted, or is this just always how you've done things?
No, no, no. I wasn't always a morning person. I really struggle to wake up early. Even nowadays, sometimes I hit this stages in my life where it's harder to keep up this consistency, being able to wake up early and have this consistent routine. But more times, like I just experimented with my output, how much output I can get working at night and then working in the morning. And I just figured that working in the morning is, as you said, you can get so much done. No one is disturbing you. You can just be with yourself and just focus on what's more important, and get the most important tasks at the beginning of the day before like even most people wake up. And that just gives you a good feeling.
Hmm. And like, what is your golden rule for kind of running your own business? Is there something that you feel like captures your overall philosophy, whether it's running your channel or your company, that you feel like is the most important? Your golden rule.
Golden rule. As I said, having a deeper and greater purpose. I think that's the best rule that I have. Being able to see myself like in 1 year or 2 years ahead, and just picturing and visualizing myself, and then just converting that energy into an actual out like work, and putting that work to get to that mental image that I have, like the goals that I have, and yeah, like I would say staying consistent every day, waking up early in the morning and just focusing on your goals, and then actually get to a work and work on those daily tasks to reach your goals. I would say that's the best rule that I have.
Hmm. Right on. So, speaking of 2 years from now, like, what is your current vision of 2 years down the line? What are you working towards now?
Yeah, to be honest, just keep on scaling this YouTube channel. Hopefully, in 2 years, have at least actual two full-time employees working, at least one videographer and one editor. That will be the goal. And in terms of numbers, I don't really like to focus on the numbers a lot, like the subscribers. It
Hmm.
just comes naturally because the more you focus on numbers, I feel like the more you like your creativity kind of drains when you focus on the numbers. I just like to put everything naturally and just freely, and instead work on everyday things that I can do to just keep on improving at least 1% every day. So yeah, maybe like in 2 years, 500,000 subscribers. That would be a goal. Maybe you can say realistic goal that we can hit with my current YouTube channel.
Hmm. And what would you say has been the hardest part about running your own channel and your own company?
Yeah. Uh, the hardest part about in general working for yourself is not having a structure.
Mm,
You
yeah,
know,
yep, I feel that.
self-employed people, it's really, really easy to be lazy and be unproductive for 2 weeks because you're not going to see the result of being laziness in that time period, but you're going to see it in later on after 1 month where you're going to see your, in this case, like YouTube channel suffer because you didn't upload for the last 2 weeks. It's just everything you need to figure out on your own. They don't teach you this in university. They don't teach you in schools. You kind of build your own structure. Without structure, we're gonna, it's really hard to stay disciplined, and that was the hardest part, especially at the early stages, figuring out how to build a proper structure to keep myself disciplined. And once I figured that out, as I said, once I committed to that 2 times a week upload schedule, and every day, every time after the video getting at least 1% better, that's where I see the tremendous results.
Hmm. Yeah, structure is so important working for yourself. And you're right.
Yeah,
Like, there's nobody to keep you accountable. It's just you.
100%.
If you don't do it, then, maybe you make some clients upset, and that sucks. You don't want to do that. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's your business. So,
Yeah.
you're kind of accountable for everything. And it's not like a normal job where show up, do X, Y, Z, get paid. It's a little more abstract than that.
Mhm.
Like, it's especially, I find, the money isn't as reliable necessarily.
Mhm.
It's not like you get a paycheck for some odd amount of money every year or every hour. Everything's a little different. Things are constantly shifting when you are running your own business or you're a freelancer, and that structure can be pretty elusive. So especially when traveling, it seems like it would be hard to keep to that. Like, do you find that it's harder to do that when you're traveling, or are you these days you're able to stick to it no matter what?
To be honest, it's definitely harder to work on filming videos and editing. Having stability is a little bit harder, but I find that every time I travel, my income tends to grow
Hmm.
because my net worth in general. Because whenever I'm traveling, it gives me so much new creative ideas, like creative ideas on where I can take my business to a next level, especially what kind of content that I can focus on next. And then being able to come back home to my studio and execute, that's where I see the most result. And I think for me, like traveling is definitely worth it because it gives me so much new creative ideas. But as you said, it's definitely harder to work while traveling and having that good Wi-Fi and having that good lighting, and definitely could be a struggle. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting how traveling is so important for your creativity. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's always this constant struggle I find between needing a certain amount of novelty and recharge time and kind of like enjoying your life versus buckling down and doing things that need to be done. It's like if you do too much of one thing,
Yeah.
then, you're either not making enough money or not working towards your goal, or you're too rigid, you're boring, you're bored, and that's not good either. You're maybe not going to be able to have that vision of life 2 years down the road because you're
Mhm.
so embroiled in what you're doing right now.
Mhm.
So I struggle with that as well. It seems like you have found somewhat of a balance here.
Mhm.
Like, how long was your last stint of traveling?
My last what?
Stint of traveling? Like, how long were you traveling for? You said you were kind of
Yeah,
traveling
yeah.
throughout Europe.
So I left US at the beginning of December and I came back in mid-February. So I spent that period of time in Europe, just exploring Europe, just working and traveling at the same time. I find this a really good combination because, as I said, it just gives me a lot of creative ideas. And at the same time, I love talking to new people, networking with other digital nomads that I found in different countries. And it just gives me new ideas when I talk to new people, new places, new cultures, and it just really inspires me. So
Hmm.
this
So,
this has been my longest trip, basically, more than almost 3 months, basically.
yeah, that's a long time to be traveling, and props to
Yeah,
you. It's
yeah,
like it sounds like a blast, honestly.
yeah.
Hmm. So, when you're making videos for your channel, you said you don't focus too much on the numbers. So, when you're thinking of a new video, do you nowadays just kind of do whatever you think is interesting or you think is important, or or do you look at what might be trending and you try to cover that?
Yeah. So my YouTube channel is like 80% of the views come from YouTube search. So I definitely focus on what people are currently searching for and try to provide that based on the demand, the people, whatever people are searching for. I just try to provide and give the supply, basically the video, and provide solutions. So most of the time, yes, I do have a specific strategy where I look up what is currently trending, what people are actively searching for, and I just kind of try to answer that question.
Hmm. Right on. So, what is like like being on YouTube? You have an audience. You have a certain amount of fame, we could
Mhm.
call it.
Sure.
Has that changed your perspective on things at all, having an audience? Because I find, like with my channel, being able to talk to all these people and knowing that people are watching it, I mean, it creates parasocial relationships. I know with your channel, it's maybe a little different because it's more about the technology. But have you found that that has changed you at all? I know you said you originally made this channel to work on your English, and clearly
Yeah.
your English is great, so that has helped a lot. But I don't know. Do you feel like now you're more of a showman, like you, or you look at celebrities differently than you did before? Anything like that?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think I've changed that much because of the audience that I have. But I think it's more humbling to see how much of a hard work and consistency it takes, because hardest part is just, as I said, being disciplined. And when you work for yourself, you see how much of a struggle it is to stay disciplined, and like how much we don't have a control over ourselves. And this is the hardest part. If you can control yourself, control your focus and concentration, you can achieve tremendous things in short period of time. And I think achieving success fast is sometimes dangerous. I'm glad that I didn't reach this 150,000 subscribers overnight. Sometimes people go viral and end up having this big fame, and that can change them and the person that they are. For me, it took a long time, which is I think a good thing, because it helped me develop my character, instead of just reaching you know overnight success basically. So.
Hmm. And what are the best ways you find to focus in? Waking up early, getting started early, all of that makes sense. But do you meditate, exercise, kind of anything like that, or something weirder that maybe people haven't heard of? Like, what's your best way to keep your mind clear?
Yeah. So my faith is I practice Islam. I'm Muslim. So every morning I wake up and pray. We pray 5 times a day, and this really helps you have a structure and helps you
Hmm.
stay disciplined. Because every like 5 times a day is no joke. Praying on time, and this gives you mental structure. It gives you spiritual structure, and just renews your intention on what you need to focus on next, because it's so easy to get caught up on one thing that you're working on and just get attracted to something else that's not important. You can browse
Hmm.
on internet and just start watching YouTube videos, but where you need to go and pray, this puts this discipline aspect of it in your life, and this has been really helpful. So.
Hmm. Right on. That's awesome. I believe isn't the first like prayer at 4 in the morning. So is that when you generally wake up?
It changes based on the time of the year. It's
Hmm.
usually before the sunrise, so sunrise,
Wow.
yeah. It's before
Wow. That
it's dawn
that
prayer.
makes sense why it's able to help you with discipline and waking up early
Yeah,
like that. I mean, that's
yeah.
who props to you. I have
Thank
to say, whenever I heard like I was actually reading a book yesterday, and they talked about the kind of 5 prayers every day that Muslims
you.
do, and
Yeah,
that does seem like a lot, but it also makes sense how it's able to kind of structure things. So do you feel
100%.
like the rest of your day is kind of scheduled around those prayers, or like how do you see it?
Yeah. So in order to not miss those prayers, you kind of have to schedule your day based on like around the prayer times, and I think that's the best way to structure your day, because it's kind of connected to the universe, because like based on the time of the year, it changes the prayer times. It's not like
Right.
exactly at the same time, like 4 a.m. or it just shifts every day. So it's just connected to your internal clock. So the time that you wake up, it changes every day. The time that you go to bed changes a little bit every day, and just it just integrated with everything that I do, and it's been really efficient for me. Currently, it's Ramadan. We wake up before sunrise, and we eat a meal, and then for the rest of the day, we don't have to focus on food. We don't have to focus on water. So it's so easy to get a lot of work done, and it's spiritually, it's also really really good. You feel really good inside. Yeah.
Right on. That's beautiful. I'm glad this is all working out so well for you. I wish we had a little more time, but I know that you got to run. So why don't you tell people where they can find you, maybe your company, kind of anything that hasn't been pitched already. Go be shameless.
Yeah, sure, Grant. So you guys can find me on YouTube. You can look up FozTech. It's FOZ Tech, one word. I'm also available on Instagram. You guys can reach out to me. It's TheFozTech. That's my username. Feel free to reach out with any questions that you have, any help. I'm always available and ready to help to anyone that wants to learn more about YouTube and getting success online. Yeah.
hmm And there you have it, everybody. And hey, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed it. And
Thank you.
thank you to everybody listening. You're great, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.